Welcome back to Indian Trace. It's a great view. This right here is what I call Hidden Hill. Hidden Hill is full of artifacts. They have, in this modern age, gotten to the point where they're growing crops all over this ancient Indian site, as many of us know. And look at that tree. Happens to our sites. This happens to our sites. Look at these artifacts. Now, first of all, I want to check this. Now, I've got, of course, I've got some artifacts to look at, but we've got distinct deer prints all over, as we have everywhere. We have so many deer. I think a deer ticket this year gets you about 6 deer here in eastern North Carolina. And we're going to check this. I'm almost positive that this is a base. Almost positive. We're going to be checking that out right now. But look at this stuff. We've got some great artifacts going on. Solid hammerstone and some pottery. Let's start with the pottery. It comes from Mother Earth. It's the essence of the earth, the clay, the dirt, and the soil. Look how thick some of this pottery is. I like pottery because, just as Jonesy said, it speaks more than anything else of the different dispensations of time. Much of this stuff, clay, was pressed into straw or grass baskets, smoothed on the inside, and then pressed against them, and then the whole basket and everything was put into the fireplace. Best explanation I've ever heard of how they got these they didn't necessarily press the fabric on there to get the texture. That's just what happened when they pressed these things into form, I think. I would have to agree. That sounds like the most legitimate reasoning. This stuff right here is tempered with sand. You can see it in there. And look at this piece. Craziness. Completely different clay. Big piece. Of course, you can tell this is not industrial. This is ancient. You can see the tempering in it. I think this was tempered with shells, as a matter of fact. Can't test the little pieces, but they're not clear quartz. Different texture on the outside. So incredible stuff. I mean, just look at the difference in this stuff. Pottery is always fascinating. Carries the story. And then, of course, here you go. It's a gorgeous day. Trending to about 60. Just picked this up. Absolutely perfect in the hand. Look at that. We've got, and this is going to look even better cleaned up. It is sparkling quartzite. Very hard module. It's not just a stone. Many times when you get an educated eye, you can tell the different working edges. If you held it in your own hand, you'd be able to tell yourself. Just like you yourself was working it. Working a stone. Look at this edge right here. This is a work site right here. All the way across here. When you clean it up, it's going to show it even more. And I can see the different staining based on this right here. This is the cortex of the stone, not used. That's finger placement, you can tell, all over here. So always excited to find a dense, really well-used tool. Some people say, well, that's great. What were they hammering? What were they hitting? Well, that's a nice tool right here, my goodness. See this working edge? They were hitting and making these. Nice artifacts, huh? We haven't even checked that one in the ground. I just wanted to give a fair tour. And a scraper. It's dry. I mean, you have to think smart, hunt smart to find pieces in sites that you know have artifacts in them. I would stay to those areas when it's real dry and not real productive in terms of rain. That would have been a nice point. It's broken here. Great, great looking stuff, right? Let's check this point. If you're watching this, I haven't discontinued. I just went ahead with it, but so we're going to check it out. I'm going to see if I can do this without the shadow. See that? That looks like a base right there. I mean, look at this shape. My word. tip. Mercy, right? Check that out. Done. Done. Look at that's the table right there. Worked around the edge. Might be just missing a little. No, they worked that off. It's a nice sort of a triangle work. I can tell they really have fine edge work on this. Excuse me. Just a point. Flesh piercing, that's what they needed it for. Just a great look at some artifacts right there, isn't it? Appreciate you tuning in to Indian Trace and hope you find